Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me with the channel DJ, and once again we're out here exploring what looks like an incredible bit of World War II military history right here. It's this incredibly massive cement construction which is at the roadside here. What is it? It's like 10 mile from Stonehaven on like the Drumlithy road, and it's an absolute incredible looking cement structure. Look at it. It's got loads of like brackets and stuff on it. The only other thing it could be is some farm related piece of apparatus, but to me it looks like it's military, and that's what we're doing on this investigation, folks. We're going for a closer look, document the history. I think it would be better to just scout the perimeter here though, because this looks like an absolute bog from all the cows. They must have been recently feeding cows into here on these feed pens. Look at that, the steps going right up the side of it. That is insane, folks. Watch out, because this is a runoff here from the cow feed. This is absolutely insane, folks. Look at the size of this construction. It's an absolute dream to find a thing of this size. It looks like some parts of it have been destroyed, and other bits look like there's a tunnel that leads into it. It's absolutely insane. We were literally just driving past on the road and we could see this construction on the hillside, and it's like, wow. History jumping out at us once again, folks. And the amount of cement here is incredible. It's not just one layer, it's like this has had a real purpose. It's just figuring out what that purpose has been. It could be some sort of radar site or kind of listening station or something, because a lot of that's been destroyed and it's hard to know exactly what they had. Look at this here. Wow. Has this been like rebar or pipes? Look at the size of that, folks, compared to my hand right there. I just about fell right into it. Insane. This has all got like supports. What a massive structure this is. And it's had the proper stairs up the side of it, so I've never really seen any farm history looking like this. I think it's definitely military related. It's had these concrete side parts as well up. Wow, and look at these big threads here, or big rebar. It almost looks like something to do with a mast, but then you have to think, like, why is it in a row like this? Insane. And it's been knocked down to a certain degree. It's crazy, because look, there's big slots and stuff in the cement here. So it's like there's been something slotted into there, like a door or an interior. And then look at this here, folks. What has this even been? Has it been a bomb storage? Look, there's been big beams at the top. And for some reason, it's had this arch shape in the middle. And look, the beams have been up here as well. Look, they've been gassed off. So whatever this wartime structure is, folks, they've been, kind of what it's like, they've been bringing stuff here, bringing it along on a conveyor, and then manoeuvring it and then storing it in here. Because think of the force, like when they had something stored in here, if it had blown up, it would have done damage to absolutely nothing. And to me, that's what this looks like. Again, because they've put it inside this massive concrete cocoon. And I think these are other bits of the structure that's been thrown down the hole. Wow. Yeah, this is crazy. The reason that I think it is like that is because I think those beams have been for winches. It looks like they've been winching the stuff over. Another thing, there's been smaller beams right there. Look at that, folks. And then this bit here has been like a walkway. Look, there's been something above us. But this is almost like, I'm not sure if this is something to stop the blast going outwards too far, or literally if it is a walkway, but it is almost human sized here. Wow, Wow, it's so crazy to find this structure. I'm absolutely blown away right now. And the first time you explore something like this, it's like you just want to take in every detail, because it's like, what was it for and what was its purpose? The amount of work that's gone in here is just insane. Yeah, it's like on the front section here, where this hollow is, it's like there has definitely been something mounted with the bolts, a bit like what we saw at Edsall Airfield. And it definitely looks like there's been, if anything, some sort of like electrical box there mounted on that. What a landscape this is, folks. We'll go around the back of it now and have a look and see what it looks like up there. Look at this, folks, the massive holes through this, they're all over it. And then for some reason it's had this cutout, which is a strange design in the architecture of the place, which must have been for a purpose. And I think like this walkway here would have been poured, but now it's just moved away over time. And you can see, look, the steps have originally been poured against corrugated iron. See, that's the sort of details of history, folks. We're just taking our time documenting everything we see. Look, there's been drainage systems the whole way along and massive support brackets for stuff. Wow, this central piece too, I'm not even sure what it's been, but there's been walls and stuff all the way around there. And it's weird because there must have been a purpose for this window which is behind me. Check this out too, this has been something as well. Look at that supporter bracket there, folks. It's like it's come off the top of that. But you can see even that construction there, look, it's got thick rebar through it. So that was for something which needed a lot of strength to hold it up. But the weird thing with that cement base, there's like a wall around it which has also got thick rebar with almost the same shape of a walkway that we saw at the bottom of the hill down there. Insane, folks. Look at this, folks, the interesting detail. I've just noticed, like, there's been stuff slotted in here, but check the size of these threads on this roof. And this roof has actually also got a tar coating on it. Right there, look, there's a tar coating. I think there's been something stored in there that could have been potentially highly explosive. And look at the size of these threads. They're sticking out all the way around this. And see the way these end ones is bent? It makes me think they've unbolted it and then they've tipped it over to that side when they've been scrapping whatever this is. I think it's like it is definitely a military site, but it's so interesting just to see, ask the question what this is. If anybody knows, get in the comments. It's kind of on the Drumlithy Road near Stonehaven. Look, there's been stuff mounted up here as well with smaller threads. It just shows you, folks, the rich history. Like, look, there's more threads here as well. Absolutely insane. And then this is the bit which almost looks like it's been a walkway above where we were a minute ago. If anybody comes to sites like this, they have to be super safe, be careful, and it's no advice to climb on stuff like this. I'm literally just documenting the history here, and yeah, I'm keeping it safe, folks. It is cool to see those massive beams which have been coming out of the wall. Maybe at one time they had been going across and there's been another wall at that side. That's what it looks like to me. See here, you can actually see evidence that there's been a wall at this section. Wow, folks. Crazy history, just out of the blue. I had no idea I'd be looking at something this cool. 1 minute we're just on a drive through the countryside and then something like this just springs out and you would think, like, what is this even doing here? Crazy, crazy history. It's like they've dug into the side of this mound on the hill. We'll go and have a look at the top, see what they've actually done. Look here, there's actually another cement base kind of bit here. So that shows you there's just so much going on at this site. It almost makes me think it's been like bomb storage, but then you wouldn't think there would just be one of them. And by the big brackets, it looks to me like there could have been communications. Maybe radar or radio communications at this site. Because I think if it was bomb storage, they would have a lot of different, kind of those sort of like cement pods. It's maybe just been built like that for access and like and maintenance. It's maybe for strength. Wow, we're right up on top of it right now, folks. And it's built just to the side of this. There's no actual evidence of it when you're up here. Channel DJ is going way up the top of the hill here. I think he's going to see if there's any more history related to this. Right folks, we've now made it to the top of the hill where the channel DJ was, and he's found this interesting artefact of history. I'm still absolutely gassed after walking up that hill. It's super steep, but check this out. This must have been like the base of a mast or something like that, related to what we've just seen at the bottom of the hill. It's crazy. So there you go folks, look at these stairs. This must have been some sort of access point. I'm not sure if this was enclosed or something, or if it was a mast up on this prominent bit of land here. There's also boggy around the edge of it, but you can get an aspect of the history. Seeing a plinth like that, it must be related to what we saw at the bottom of the hill, and that does connect up with what we were thinking about it being a communications site connected with the World War II time. And it is crazy to think that little bits of World War history is just on a Scottish hill in the middle of this majestic landscape. Yeah, this whole quarry area here is super cool. I was just thinking though, it looks like there's something just over here. And here folks, see at the wartime period they could have had anything like little dugouts and stuff protecting areas like this, but there's no more cement. It's all the remains of the cement we love to see folks, because you think that was part of a building or a defensive operation at the time. Check this out folks, it looks like a massive man-made quarry right here on the side of the hill. It could be a natural fissure in the land though, but wow, just check it out folks. It is a cool spot up here on the side of the hill. And then that mast there with the steps is just at the opening of it. The shadows are at a poor angle once again for this adventure folks, because the sun's always at a low angle here in Scotland in the winter. But yeah, I'm always blown away by the history just hidden all around. Those massive windmills are on the far hill there, and on this hill there must have been a big impressive mast at one time. Connected with the stuff at the bottom of the hill might have had another mast or whatever, because those big bolts, similar to these, but these are not as big. Those big bolts at the bottom of there was just so cool. But we're going to have a walk about back down there again folks, because I'm going to take some photos and we'll see if we missed any little details of history. Now we can that it's definitely been connected with something up here, which is likely to be a communications or kind of radio mast, because you can see how far in the distance. Here look, there's masts on top of that hill over there. Yeah. Sometimes modern masts can still be at the site of what was one time World War II sites. Yeah. I can see there's a boy with a John Deere across there spreading fert at the far side of the glen. Real adventures folks. To the landowner and that, we always come with the greatest respects. We were just looking at the World War II history and then we're on our way. And seeing stuff like that, it's cool to document it in case one day it gets ripped out and taken away. But it must have been a mast, because you wouldn't have thought if it was just a building, they wouldn't have put it right in the middle of the track going into the quarry. It was maybe the most firm bit of ground there that they had, so.
This whole bit down there is all built up.
Yeah, that's true. There could be underground cables or something for here. Yeah, the lie of the land folks, look, in line with what we saw down there. It's insane. Maybe at one time there was an underground little tunnel or something. But I would think definitely the communication wires and stuff will be what they had been running underneath there. Maybe that cement tunnel kind of bit that you can see at the bottom, that was maybe part of what's under our feet right now. It might go right up there. But so many years has passed, folks, that history gets more and more hard to see just by exploring and looking at the land. Once you know something like this is here, it's often easier to go back and research the history. Yeah, you can often like put more pieces of the puzzle together. It's crazy to see though how all that was connected. Way up here in this bit of land that you didn't normally see anything military related. And there's a thing like that just there. So we'll take a better look at this lower down bit now, folks. Now we've got an idea of what it was. It was like a communications structure. Look, I can hardly get round this side. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to go back up this hill. These bushes are absolutely horrible to spiky beasts. Whoa! Wild landscape, folks. We're just literally exploring off the beaten path for sure.
That's where I got up to. See the bolts?
Yeah, aye, there is bolts sticking out right along. It's like there's been like more of a structure up there at one time even. And I think there's been a wall at this side as well, because you can see the mark there where it's...
Yeah.
And then there's been wooden beams. I think maybe there's just been an opening there and you would have leaned over like the beams. Look at this, folks. I've just noticed at the top of the stairs here at this area there's like a cutout, and then in the field it lines up with this cool cement block. Who even knows what it's doing?
It's almost like that came.
Yeah. Or it's like there's something under the ground been here, maybe electrical wires or... But see with the stairs, folks, it shows you once they came to this height, this is as high as they needed to come. And I'm not sure if they accessed communication systems or what. But you can see there has been a wall attached with threads here as well. But I was just a way to jump across here because I didn't actually get a picture of the big threads, folks. And that's what we're all about on this channel, we're documenting the history. So there we go, folks, what a scene. What a large amount of concrete they've used here when they've built this. And I was back up taking some photos of this, interesting, like the big threads and stuff. And Ken, as we've been walking around, we've noticed a few more details of the history, which I'll show you before we go. The tar on the top of this looks original. It's like it's had a tar coating to protect the cement from getting the rain kind of on it as much, because the rain would have sat potentially on the level surface. And then earlier when I was speaking about this wall having been higher at one time, that'll be obviously the wall down there in question. That's what I was thinking about once I was taking the pictures, folks. Wow, what a scene. It is cool, like just finding something like this and then not even knowing what anything does, and then you try and figure it out by details of the history. And as the channel DJ pointed out a minute ago, it's like this slot here has been coming out of this box at the upper room, and it's been going out to this other room here, which has got, it's like massive kind of like plinths. Ken, this is where the plinth is. It's got the angle iron and stuff, and it's like there's been electrical controls and stuff. But look how many other plinths there is here, different sizes. And then look, there's been another bit of angle iron up here, and it's been a strange setup. And then even here there's been massive threads, like massive things connected. We hollows, these two cutouts are original. It would be good now that I know how this looks. I might look up like World War II, like communications areas. Yeah, it looks like it's filled in, eh? This whole area here is built up, and look how much cement is there. I think originally it's been here, and it's maybe been kind of bulldozed or just knocked over. Because I think there's been walls, the way those threads are, It's hard to say. This might have been kind of filled in, or maybe they just built a wall and then backfilled it. Wow, folks, look at that. Real history, like incredible. There's been wood and stuff just jammed in. It's been poured at different times. You can see that through the way the cement sits. And then it's all been drained properly with drains. Probably the amount of water running off the top of the hill. And then these things, that is a weird layout. When we first got here, the reason I thought it was like potentially a bomb storage is because of these. It looks like they would have brought in bombs or something on a conveyor belt. Maybe the motor I thought had been in here, kind of in this section. But now we've studied it more, it does appear that it's been a communication spot linked to what we saw at the top of the hill. And this just is a strange shape. See the crazy thing I noticed, the amount of, is that like calcium or something that comes out of the water, out of the cement? Look how old this structure is. That's proper starting to cover it over, like a cave door. And it looks like there's been something in here at one time that's been busted out as part of the construction. Yeah, it's so interesting, folks. I'm mind blown by this history. It's like here in the Scottish wilderness, clearly World War II. It's like my favourite time period to explore. The stuff that's left, it's few and far between, and then you find a mega structure like this, which is, that's the only way to describe it. It's a mega structure. And yeah, these walls must have come down with a fair clatter. I think it's been even higher back in the day. I've just noticed there's a green wire clamp up on the wall up there. Probably original wartime green paint, folks. Insane. And credit to the strength of its construction, it's still standing, most of it. And wow, yeah. It would have looked a bit different when it had the higher walls and the beams sticking out. And then there's been obviously even higher bits up there, which is unexplained to this day. I think in this video I've still not walked around this corner and just had a look up. And we need to do that, folks. We need to record every nook and cranny of a historical wonder like this. Look at the size of this gusset they've had on the wall here. You can see these holes, that's been when they've been building it. They bolt the shuttering to the side of it, so when they pour the cement in, they've obviously got a strong structure. And then look at that, once you come round to here you can hardly even see that there is a structure. It's just like this front wall, which is probably starting to lean over these past years. They've had a high pebble content in that pour. That's how it's eroding quickly at that point. Yeah, we're just about right on top of this wall now, and look at this, there's some metal bracket still there. I'm so tempted to try and get up there and have a look, but it's literally spiky bushes, folks, so it is crazy. I'm going to try and get the camera through so we can see this. I'm getting the shots, folks. Look at that on top of the wall. Oh, it's been strong metal beams there, angle iron. I'm at arm's length here, folks. Yeah, there's strong angle iron. It's been sticking out the whole way along there, which is different to this wall here, which has got the threads. So that shows you there's a couple of different things going on with these two walls, because the threads go right around that section as well. Insane, folks. There's the channel DJ down there, shout out. What an adventure it's been. Spontaneous adventures, folks. Unplanned, and yeah, it's cool to have more places to look up and see if there's any history already written about them, and yeah, it'll be interesting to find out. The character of this is so cool, with the cement and the crazy dark times this was built for, like the defence of the country probably. And yeah, it's a significant construction. I've not seen this much cement for a long time. You can see the way they've poured it in sections as well. Yeah, it's a strange shape. That's why I was so like flabbergasted when we first saw that. I couldn't think what it would be.
Yeah, this has got it stepped up there, so I think this is been covered over there.
Yeah. And it's maybe just for strength. They've maybe had the main mast there, it's maybe been kind of a repeater for the one at the top of the hill. I'm not even sure how all that worked, but for sure it's been so cool to document this. And for all the World War II fans that watch the channel, this is something different we've not seen before. Yeah, it's epic. You can see there, folks, one of the cutouts in the cement is actually below this other cement section, and look, it lines up across there, so that's almost like there's been a beam or something going in there, or because there's no sign of anything inside that arch. There's no sign of anything. Yeah, this is totally sealed, so those beams must have been in there, and then they had laid that cement bit on top, so the beam was maybe supporting the cement bit like a bit of a lintel. See, that's the kind of history that shows you. There was likely to have been a walkway there as well. I'm just uncovering history, folks, by looking. And that's maybe a sign that there was more walkways into these ones. But then it does look like the wall's been to there, so... yeah, that's so cool. We've seen so much today, and I was just trying to take in every detail before we left. But this has been a fun place as well to be kind of climbing about. If anybody comes, they hate to stay safe. But this definitely appealed to my parkour side, folks. Climbing about on an ancient one like this, just documenting all the history and taking it all in. You can just imagine what it once was at an old time. Look, this stone's got a big groove right along it. Anyway, folks, Channel DJ's down here, so we'll go down and join them, and we'll leave this ancient structure in peace. It's been an epic adventure once again. Unplanned, spontaneous adventures. There we go, I got a couple more photographs there before we bailed out. Whoa! Nearly slipped, folks. Channel DJ's just speculating that it looks as if there's been something else down here, maybe. There maybe was a little shed where somebody would have managed the site. But at the end of the war, all that stuff just got given back to like the landowner and stuff. And, oh aye, there's a cement kind of little bit down here. Yeah, it's such a crazy sight when you look back at it from here. It looks like the sort of thing you see on like the German defences and stuff. Yeah, look, these bricks have got something written in. Afton 7481. See, that could just have been dumped here from any time. Maybe if the farmer's had a bit of a boggy area, he's just been throwing stuff in. Because he obviously grazes his cows here. And yeah, look at this bit of cement. See, this was likely to have been related to whatever was going on here. And it could have been pushed or moved from anywhere. Wow, I'm so impressed with that little site there. It's like a small area with so much to see. And I'm going to look in now to see what like old radio sites and like old satellite sites used to look like. Right folks, we're now making our way across this horrible landscape here. Look how flooded out it is. And if anybody comes here, they must be respectful of the landowner and the fact that this is clearly where they feed animals and stuff at times. Yeah, it is obviously private land. We were lucky to see what we saw. And check out this, there is bits of cement the whole way along. Look, there's loads of spiders all over there. What? Crazy. Anyway, that's been a cool adventure, folks. We're back at the car. I'll end it here. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye for me. Goodbye for the Channel DJ. And we'll see you very soon for the next adventure.